And we're live and good morning. Happy Friday. It's Fortune Cookie Friday here on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. And I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master, and your Agile coach hosting this show. I'm kind of late because I had to take the wife to work. This is, of course, the day I'm working from home. I have to take the wife in, but that's okay. It's going to be terrible out today. It's going to be rainy, cold. So she didn't want to ride her bike in. That's okay. Anyway, today is the fourth show of four for how to tackle systemic bias, not violence. God. And this Fortune Cookie Friday, gotta have some fun in this activity because it is kind of depressing, but it's a good thing. There's ways when you can figure your way out of things, it's a good thing. So on our first day, our first session, we talked about doing a lot of one-on-ones, a lot of things that the Scrum Master can do on an individual basis to help tackle systemic bias. Oh, and let me share the comment so we all know what we're talking about. Why are you talking about this? Because I got this comment the other day. What can Scrum Masters do to tame systematic racism, gender, accent bias as it sometimes impacts planning? So this took a 4-part series, 4 different avenues, lots of things you can do, give a lot of options to help minimize really the opportunity. Because I will say, if I mean, like I said, when I was in my 20s, I had one coworker engineer said, I wish women weren't engineers. And I just turned around to him and just said, what the F is your problem? And I totally disagree with you, and you're an idiot. So, yeah, sometimes you have to take that front on because it is when it's that blatant, right? When it's subtle, you have to do other things to combat it, and you sometimes you just want to say, oh, you're biased, blah blah. There's ways to do it without going through that, and there may be other reasons why that occurs. So the first day we talked about that one-on-one stuff. Today, on the second day, we talked about team norms and using daily Scrum, how to set that up to minimize bias. On day 3, we talked about sprint planning and estimation and how to do that in a good way to help minimize the opportunities for systemic bias. And today, I want to talk about bringing the light and bringing the show. And as we talk about this, I'll tell you why. I'll give you an example of an engineering intern I had years ago that I kind of took under my wing and mentored and tried to show things to do. The person was really shy, didn't want to do it. He was Asian. We were a bunch of white people in the room, men and women. There wasn't just all guys. And how to help him hit his potential. And years later, he says, thank you to me. He says, I didn't understand why you were having me do this when I was in my 20s and do all these things, but I do realize now. So as a Scrum Master, you're also part mentor. And that's one thing as an Agile coach, you're also a mentor. Sometimes we have to push people and it's like, oh, they don't want to do it. Yeah, just because someone don't want to do it, just because my kid doesn't want to tie his shoes doesn't mean I tie his shoes for his entire life, right? You got to do it yourself. Just because some things, oh, you don't want to do it, go do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it for you. Do it. But I want to show you stuff and expose you to stuff, to things that are out there so that you're more comfortable. And a lot of times, so the accent does not kick in. A lot of times when people are scared or feel like they're not there, a lot of times their accent comes up too. So you want people to be comfortable. The more comfortable people are, the less that accent comes in. Unless you're like me and go visit my grandfather in Baltimore, my accent kicks totally in. My wife can't understand a thing I say. And unless you have a cat, Heart, what are you doing? Getting into stuff that she's not supposed to be getting into. Let's talk about it. So, what are you talking about, Greg? Okay. So, work individually with individuals on their fears and build a trust. So, that's step 1. We talked about day 1. If you do have a lot of bias, people are worried about it. Heart. Geez, Cat is getting into trouble and mischief. Her girl's not awake yet, and she's all upset. Of course, the kids have off today. So you got to work with them individually and build that trust and find out what their fears are. What do you worry, what makes you good, and have some one-on-one, make them comfortable. Sometimes that one-on-one time helps. So you got to bring light to the fear. Okay. And this is the people that may feel or may look like you're observing some bias toward an individual in the team. Okay. Here's my question. Are people confident in sharing their work? If not, you have to help them find ways for them to share it. A lot of people, I'm just going to hide my corner. That is going to create bias among more senior people that have done this, or more people that are outspoken. So you have to help them, bring them up. They may not want to bring up, and some people, let them go. But from a career perspective and a lifetime learning, you want to bring them up. You want to help them show how good they are to everyone, so they have more respect. If they hide in a corner, they're going to catch it from somebody sooner or later down the path, whether it be on your team or another team. And this is the mentoring part. Here's my question. Is only the PO, senior developer, or even, God forbid, the Scrum Master, or the one presenting at sprint review, right? Are they the only ones going, right? Well, that doesn't help reduce bias whatsoever. If they think it really creates a God complex if they're the only ones who ever present the work of the team. And you, as Scrum Master, have to work with the team to find a way to break that God complex up so that everyone presents. And again, this will help build more respect for the people, the person who you may observe other people being biased towards. Okay. People with an accent, and this is one thing, may feel their accents would be troublesome. This again is why we practice each and every sprint in the review. The more they do it, the more confidence they'll have, and over time will help them minimize. Hi, Jerry. Here's Jerry's. Oh, God. Jerry just came. He woke up. He's like, hi, Dad. I just woke up. Okay. So it allows them to practice and help minimize a lot of times when people are intimidated, their accents come out. So getting them the opportunity to present what they do and make them feel comfortable with themselves. Okay, that's how you minimize the bias that other people see. Make people comfortable. And don't take the easy path out. So many Scrum Masters take the easy path. Oh, I'll just do it. Or we'll just let the product owner do it. Or we'll just let the senior tech. Or we'll just let these couple people present during sprint review. No, get everyone to present some of the work that they did or contributed to throughout the sprint. I mean, don't take the easy way out. I mean, I know we all want to make life easy, but that doesn't help the people and doesn't help teams minimize the potential for bias, right? Then it's always this person. So therefore, this person's always right. And and the other people, they don't matter, right? See what I'm saying? The other people don't matter anymore because you're creating a sprint review where only one person presents. Only one person is at the show. Only one person does the light shine on. Therefore, you as a Scrum Master are doing a disservice to your team because you're not letting everyone be in the spotlight. It'll be great for their career. It'll help with their personal, encouragement, whatever you want to call it. Confidence, right? Their confidence level. So it's one of the best ways to combat, oh, women can't do this. Guys can't do this. Oh, he has an accent. God forbid, the person with the accent, don't let them present as sprint review, right? See what I'm saying? How many times have you seen that? I've seen it all the time. And I just go sometimes, how about having more than one person present? And I try not to embed myself into the teams, but sometimes I'm like, oh, you let other people present. Why does it always have to be the same one person? Or at least get them to present to each other in the team. So at least at each other's level, like maybe you have to have 2 reviews. Maybe present everything, pick a couple things that you want the product owner to present at a review with external stakeholders, but have an internal review. So that's what I had today. That was the last thing. Bring the light, give an opportunity. Like I said, I had a young guy, and I took him all over the planet. When I was working with the Navy Department, we went everywhere. And every time I manage a team, I always make people, hey, are you going to go to this conference this year? Next year, you're presenting. They all look at me like I'm insane. But that's how you build confidence. That's how you reduce the bias. If more people of minority bases are not in front of the light in the show, we're never going to get rid of this, right? Because you need to expose it. And so people see it more often. And that's our job as mentors, is to bring them to the front because they're smart people. They're good. They do great stuff. And we do them a disservice as mentors when we don't say, you're presenting next year at the conference, by the way, and challenge them to step up. So with that, let's go Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay, Fortune Cookie Friday, Jared. Oh, boy. Jared's like, whoa, I got to eat a cookie. You don't like cookies. Bubbles likes the fortune cookies. They'll figure that one out. So this fortune cookie is from the agile accountants, and they give us messages about what we did on the show, and we read them and we think about whatever they say applies to the show. Because last time I was here, I left the cookie on the table and I found it on the floor and Bubbles was chomping on it. Chomp, chomp. I'm like, what the heck was that? It's the cat eating a fortune cookie. All right. Here we go. It is not the outside riches, but the inside ones that produce happiness. It's not the outside riches, but the inside ones that produce happiness. I'm going to take a little twist of this. It's not about, get paid, but what you do inside. I would say when you have a single person presenting all the time at sprint review, right? Having people in the team is the inside. Having them feel good and confident over time, presenting what they did and being proud of what they did will produce more riches than you can ever get from a product owner presenting at sprint review, or a single person, or a tech lead, or God forbid, the Scrum Master, right? I think by having the ones inside the team will present the most happiness, because they're going to feel pride and they got it and they presented it and they said, here's what I did, and it'll make them feel better. That's my take on it. You can take a lot of different ones, but I'm going to take that one. It's not always the outside people, but it's how the team on the inside feels when they present. And I think that'll be one of the best ways and the final way of getting there to help reduce bias. Now, don't just throw them up, throw them up there. You got to meet with them one-on-one and build up their confidence to say, hey, I really think you should present. What do you need for me to do it? How can I help you? Right? So I've been presenting for 30 some odd years. All my stuff. It's how I got money, by the way. It's how I got to do all the fun things in the engineering world, because the more I presented my ideas, the more I got funded. People are like, sure, I had to go hoops, but that's how you did it. So with that, I want to say, have a great day. Jerry, you want to say goodbye to everyone? Oh, Jerry's here. Jerry says, goodbye, everyone. I'll see you next week. I might do a show over the weekend, something fun. I don't know. Otherwise, we'll see you again on Monday. It'll be Christmas Day. Maybe we won't do Christmas. We're going to skip Christmas on Monday, and we're going to go to the Tuesday. With that, I say happy scrumming. Enjoy. Jerry, say goodbye. Say goodbye, boo-boos. All right. Bye, everyone. And enjoy your weekend.